Hello, hello. Welcome, Damien.
Hey there, nice to see you guys.
Um, for those watching live, welcome in. Those watching later, thank you for watching this. I've got Damien Becton with me tonight to talk about his Kickstarter project, Worlds Away. But Damien also is last year's one of the Mad Cave talent search winners.
Yep, I
So
am.
he's got some stuff to talk about tonight, especially this awesome Kickstarter.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, thanks for having me, you guys. I appreciate your time. But yeah, I'm excited to get started. Yeah.
yeah, and Caroline was going to be with us tonight, but unfortunately could not. Had something come up with some friends visiting, so next time she'll be around.
It's all good. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, tell everyone a little bit about yourself. A little bit of, I guess, how'd you get into comics? Like just on the
Ooh.
reading side and the interest side, and then what led you down the path to wanting to write comics?
All right. So I've been first, hey everyone, I'm Damien Becton. I'm from the middle of nowhere, South Carolina, Sumter, South Carolina. And I am currently a middle school English teacher in Charlotte, North Carolina. But I've been a I've been a comic fan for my entire life. My dad, he got me into comics when I was really, really young, and my brother as well. My brother was into like the '90s X-Men and all that, but my dad before all of that, he would give me his old yellow comic books with he's a huge Incredible Hulk fan and Thor fan. But ever since then, I've been reading comic books like nonstop. There's probably like a 5 year gap when I got hired my first year teaching where I didn't read comic books just because I was trying to learn how to teach.
Yeah,
um, but I've always wanted to write comics. I remember when I was really, really, really young, I used to create my own superheroes. I used to create my own characters. I used to like draw the pictures of my children's books and write the words, write the dialogue, and have
yeah,
each page illustrated and then staple them together and have it. And then I would stow them away. And I had my own little collection of personal comics and personal books. But uh, how I got into it, how like all this stuff happened, and honestly, it was just a shot in the dark. Um, I've always known about the Mad Cave stuff, and prior to winning this past year in October in 2021, I entered every year before that. Maybe 1 year I didn't, and this was the fourth one. So 2 or 3 times I entered, and I never expected to win, because there's so many talented people out there. You had Jared on here
yeah.
a few nights ago, and he's already doing bigger and better things right now.
And so he was your competition one of those years.
Yeah, he beat he beat me, and then he got dry foot out of that, and
Yeah,
then he has twin blades, and he has all the devils. What was it called? All the devils are here. There it is. Yep. See, I
yeah,
see,
sticker right in front of me.
and he's doing it big.
Yeah,
But yeah, so it was a shot in the dark. I was just telling you how when I found out that I won, it was at the end of my school day this past year in October. All the students in my sixth grade class, they were just getting packed up to go home, and I checked my phone, and then another artist that I've worked with, her name is Rachel Disler. You can hit her up at Red Tie Bear. She's extremely talented. Um, she messaged me and said, "Congratulations." And I said, "Congratulations for what?" And then she sent me the tweet from Mad Cave, and I promise you, Jeremy, I promise you, I started bawling. I started crying, and
yeah,
my students said, "Mr. Becton, are you okay? Are you okay?" And I just couldn't say anything and shook my head just because.
yeah.
But yeah, that was probably one of the best moments of my life. But after I won that, I decided I told myself, hey, if this is ever going to happen, now is the time that it's going to happen. So
Yeah.
I just went all in, and I'm still going all in, and we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, it takes us somewhere.
Yeah, I mean that's a good story of just don't give up on your dreams right there.
Yeah,
I mean, try it a year after year to get in, and it worked.
It worked. Yeah, I mean, I'm so thankful. Shout out to everyone at Mad Cave. Shout out to Brian Hawkins, the editor. Shout out to David Hazan and Jared and everyone who's like just gave me this opportunity.
Yeah, I mean they've been putting some awesome stuff out at Mad Cave too. So if you're
Absolutely.
not reading their books, like seriously go check them out because
I'm reading Speed Republic right now. I think the last issue is next week is really good. I think Ryan K. Lindsay writes that.
Yep.
And he has a few things. You know, he worked with Black Mask, so he's coming up too. So I'm excited for him. Never met him, never talked to him. I'm excited.
I've read a couple of his things now, actually. From it was Everfrost at Black Mask.
Yeah, that's what it was. I think he has a he actually has a project going on the new crowdfunding campaign. It's on Crowdfunder. I forgot exactly what it's called, but he does have a one shot coming out through that.
I may or may not.
Really good.
Is his the one that's? No, his is not head cases. Somewhere I have. It might be on my phone.
It has a simple name. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, it's on Crowdfunder with no E. So if you guys want to look that up, and look up head cases as well. That's AGO Mason and Leslie Julian. They have a dope project out right now too.
That's the one I actually have the tab open when I was talking on Monday with another Kickstarter creator, Travis Gibb. I think that came up in our conversation. I think it was with him, or maybe it was with Joe last week. I don't. Conversations are flowing together now.
Yeah, you probably have so many interviews that they all just mix together.
the last week and then this week especially, and then
taking a break
for till like July 13th is our next one. Because I'll be traveling next week and
good man, you deserve that. I've seen all your interviews going on and how often you post, so you deserve that break, brother.
Thanks. But yeah, we'll be doing that. There'll be a Kickstarter that day we're talking about, and then 2 more Kickstarter. We'll probably be talking about the next day. We got to confirm that one, but yeah.
Apparently, the summer season is
Kickstarter season.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to get another one in for number 2, for World Away number 2, probably in October before that little. I guess they say because this is it's my second Kickstarter.
Yeah.
The first one was unsuccessful, but this is my second one. So they say December is kind of like a dead month, so I'm gonna try to get one in before December.
All the holiday spending happening.
Yeah, that's exactly what they say.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, and then I mean, for you, once you've got this one out now, and I'll bring this up, that you've got 185 backers on it, so you've got a base built. You go to that second one, those 185. As long as they should love it because it's gonna be great. The reviews pages you already can tell there's gonna be an emotional story being built here.
Thank you. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, hopefully at least a few of those 185. I know at least one of them will love it because one of them is my mom. So
I saw on Twitter you posted something about your mom commenting.
Oh yeah, I was on Ultimate Chance on YouTube. I was on the Ultimate Chance YouTube channel, and I shared that video of the interview on Facebook, and I tagged my mom in it just so she can watch it. And then and then my mom's Filipino, and she's a little Filipino lady, but she went to the YouTube channel, went to the video, and she commented on it and said, "Thank you, sir, for supporting my son." I said, "Oh my gosh, I love you, Mom."
Well, if she sees this one, shout out Mrs. Becton.
I put it up. I told them to watch it live, so I'm not sure if they're there, but she's probably asleep. But I'm definitely going to send it to her ASAP.
I can see there's a couple people watching right now. Actually, wow, there's someone on Twitch watching right now.
Oh,
hey
fellas,
no one's ever watching on Twitch, so hi, Twitch watcher. I can see like the number of people watching, which is always interesting to see that, and I never moused over it. There's a Twitch watcher, so
hey Twitch,
and hey Michael's always watching these creator interviews, checking them out.
I appreciate the love, Michael.
But yeah, shout out to your mom if she is watching now or later. She gets her own shout out.
Love you, Mom.
So tell the viewers a little bit about what Worlds Away is and what the story is about.
All right. So Worlds Away, it's in a nutshell, it's about my mom, not specifically my mom, but the main character in it, Serenity. She is a loose adaptation of my mom. In Worlds Away, it's a science fiction, fantasy, action story, but a mother, Serenity, and her daughter, Mackenzie, are trapped on a mystical alien planet. So they're high tech. They have all this technology, kind of like Iron Man armor. It looks very Power Rangers. It looks very Radiant Black. But they had to crash land on this planet that they've never been to, that they've never heard of. But on this planet, they have mystical, magical type aliens on there. So I wanted to do that clash of science fiction and fantasy, kind of like God of War, kind of like Elden Ring. If you guys ever play Elden Ring or any of the Dark game,
I am bad at Elden Ring.
It's I'll say this: you're probably not bad. Elden Ring is just very hard.
It is, yeah. Like the whole what was the game that like all that style Soul?
Dark Souls.
Yeah, I watched like my friends in college playing that, and I was just like, I don't think I can do this. But then Elden Ring, I was like, all right, George R.R. Martin wrote the lore. I want to play this to know the story, but I can't get through the story.
I promise you, I was talking about this on another interview earlier in the week, but I had to give up. It was a beautiful game. I had to give up, and then I just watched the Game Grumps play it. So
I that's smart. I should do that. Michael saying, I see the title Radiant Black meets God of War. I'm in. Sold.
Hey, I appreciate it, Michael. Take a look at it. And hopefully we can sell you a little bit more. But we did want to, when I came up with it, I'm very Final Fantasy, especially Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, and Final Fantasy 6. I'm starting with Final Fantasy 7, maybe Final Fantasy 6 too. There's always like a clash of science fiction and fantasy. There's swords versus machine guns, and then lasers and dragons and things like that. So whenever I come up with a story, that oftentimes it's a mix of science fiction and fantasy. But they're trapped on this alien planet. But the two don't get along very well. Serenity, the mother, is this very cold, this very mean, almost heartless type character. And I said it's about my mother. My mother is very nice. So it's an extreme version of my mother. And the daughter is probably the exact opposite. She's very caring. She's very warm-hearted. She's very gentle. So they conflict throughout the entire story. But Serenity, the mother, she is willing to do whatever it takes to get her and her daughter off that planet safely, to find the resources to get off that planet safely. But along the way, they come across various Dark Souls, Elden Ring type characters. And you can see on this page, there's a very sinister witch that they encounter in the first issue.
Yeah. Like sci-fi, fantasy. Those are my two genres that are always top of the list, especially if I'm reading a novel, not reading
Mhm.
comics. 'Cause comics, I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
I'll go horror, I'll go sci-fi, fantasy style, or I'll go like,
A good boy. Is that
dog
Source
fighting.
Point, right?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
so my genres for comics are all over the place, but
Yeah.
like it all comes back to, I think, the sci-fi fantasies where I feel like a lot of my love for reading came from.
Where do you think, like, is there a specific story or game or something that stemmed from, do you think?
I just read a lot growing up.
Uh,
I mean,
okay.
like I was really into Harry Potter.
Yeah.
In college, I read Wheel of Time, like
Mhm.
all 14 books there. Got me into like a lot of Brandon Sanderson stuff, which I'm still reading. Just like the world building, and there's always that blend of sci-fi fantasy thrown in there. A lot of
Yeah. It's
uh,
I
magic systems.
and I guess that's something that like a lot of readers do because that's the type of stuff that I gravitate towards as well. If I see a fantasy book, I don't know if you've seen on Kickstarter Ruination. I haven't read it yet, but there is a Kickstarter right now called Ruination. They're on issue 6, but it looks really, 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 really cool.
Yeah, what's
But
one of the back end?
I'm huge. If I see anything like that, anything fantastical, anything sci-fi, and if they blend it together, then I'm
Yeah,
immediately sold.
yeah.
But yeah, in a nutshell, that's worlds away. I don't want to give away too much yet, but yeah, the plot is simple. A mother and a daughter with high-tech armor.
Yeah.
They're trying to get off of a mystical, magical, dangerous Elden Ring-like planet, and they need the resources to get off, and they need to go find them, and they clash all the time.
Like I said, that I mean, you've got so many preview pages up here for people to check out, which is
Mhm.
awesome. I think people will know what they're getting, from this preview.
Hopefully, I do want to give a shout out to the creative team as well to make it
Yeah.
look so good. So I had 2 artists work on it. The first 4 pages is an artist named Marco Del Forno. He was the first 4 pages that I think you read in the preview. The very emotional 4 pages, first 4 pages. It was initially supposed to be a just something that I threw out free to read on online, just like a little prelude. But I think it when it got drawn, when it got colored and lettered, the first 4 pages, I said I have to include this in the actual comic because it has so much backstory that's going to be important to the entire story.
Yeah.
But Marco Del Forno drew the first 4 pages. It was colored by Stoney Williams. Stoney Williams is another Mad Cave Studios winner. He wrote Villainous for Mad Cave
Okay.
Studios. And now he's coloring. He's writing and coloring. And then shout out to Christian Funesti. He actually worked on some Power Rangers stuff, I think last year or the year before that. And then Luana Christini is the colorist. The editor is Devin Arscott. Shout out to Devin if you're watching. And Band of Bards co-founder did the logo for me. I just randomly hit him up and said, "Hey, can you?" I saw he was a designer, and I said,
Yeah.
"I'm looking to have this logo. I love the logo." I said, "I'm trying to mix science fiction and fantasy," and yeah, and he whipped something up after a couple of days, and I absolutely fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great logo. He did an excellent job on that.
yeah, they're all, dude. I'm so thankful. Like every time I look at it, I'm like, I can't believe you guys actually chose to work with me. I know I'm paying you guys, but I'm thankful that you guys actually agreed to do this because it's turning out, honestly, it's turning out a lot better than I imagined. So shout out to the whole team. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all.
I love that the way that this was designed. the number just fits right on in there.
Yeah, that was it actually it started off somewhere else, and then it started off near the W and the A, and then I asked him, Chris Dead Hours, to change it just a little bit because it looked kind of off, and then he said, I have an idea, and then he put it on the side right there, and it fit absolutely perfect. I said, that's exactly what I was looking for, and then we'll just put the issue number in there.
Worked out very well. And variant cover there and here.
Oh yeah, the cover B is by Dan Franco. I saw his art one day, and I just hit him up, and then he gave me a whole bunch of different versions of it. But I chose this one. I don't know if you've ever played God of War, but I chose this specific cover because it reminded me of God of War, and God of War kind of has a lot of influence. It actually, this story, I would say Worlds Away started off with it was very influenced by The Last of Us, and then it kind of morphed into God of War, and then it kind of just turned into its own thing, specifically about the father, son, mother, daughter relationship. So it has a lot of God of War and a lot of The Last of Us in there as well.
And yeah, Michael, this is the cover A for issue 1 here.
Oh,
yeah, definitely very sinister looking.
Yeah, that's Christian Prunesti's cover. Thank you, Michael. And shout out to Christian because it didn't initially look like that. I gave him a different idea, and then when he balled it up, he threw it away and said, "We're doing this one." And I said, "That's perfect, Christian. Thank you for changing my entire mind."
Because you had, I think you had a post also with was that on Twitter where you were comparing like this cover with like The Last of Us and the God of War.
Yeah, I did.
That imagery.
I put that on my Substack. So if you guys ever want to check out my Substack, I put a lot of behind the scenes stuff about Worlds Away on there, and I'm planning on putting more. But there was I put a post of the entire process, how I gave Christian, I said, hey, these are the two games these are the two stories that it was inspired by mostly, which was The Last of Us and God of War, which was kind of what I was looking for the cover. And then he did that at first. And he said, you know what? Hey, Damien, he emailed me like 2 days later after he finished the first one. He said, let's do something more badass. So he did that. And I said, dude, that's perfect. Thank you for changing my mind, because I think it turned out pretty well.
I mean, it does have that, like, it right here shows you a little bit of sci-fi fantasy, right? Absolutely. Sci-fi, you're in space, you got the suits, and then what is this creature that is about to just crush them?
Yep. And I promise you, I'm glad he did it, because the initial cover, it didn't give. There's a lot of action in the story that you don't see in the preview, and the story is very I wouldn't say reliant, but a lot of the story is very action packed, and I think that initial cover, that first cover, was able to capture that, because Christian is so talented, especially when it comes to action.
Yeah,
and I can't wait. I'm going to start showing it off in the next few days. The last part of the campaign, how talented he is when it comes to this action. And again, I always tell him, dude, I'm so lucky. I'm thankful that you even agreed to come on board, because he's so good. He's so good.
Yeah, I mean, art's looking awesome in that. The preview.
Oh, and this cover right here. I'm sorry to interrupt. This is my coworker's cover. So I'm an English teacher in Charlotte. I teach sixth graders. I just hit up the art teacher at my school, Miss Aquino, Selena Aquino. I just say, hey, would you be interested? Because she posts her art all the time on Instagram, and I love her art. And I just hit her up and asked her, hey, would you be interested in doing a cover for my comic book? And then she said, yeah. So, but I love this cover. It's so cute.
Awesome.
I like how all three covers are like extremely different, and that's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, there's something for everyone out there. You know, whatever style of cover they want.
Yep.
Got it. She got some other digital comics in here, which I've seen and are awesome.
I do want to shout out Double Out as well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, please do.
So Double Out is written by Ryan Hulsey. His campaign just ended. Shout out to Ryan. His campaign just ended and he was funded. But he has some really cool stuff going on. It's written by Brian Hawkins, who's an editor for Mad Cave as well. Brian Hawkins, shout out to Brian Hawkins because he's helped me out so much. And he's doing a lot of things. I told him he must have like 32 hours in his day because he edits. He has like 6 or 7 comic books out right now. He has an Aftershock comic book coming out. He has like Scout comics. But he's doing a lot. So shout out to Brian and Ryan.
Yeah, Brian and Ryan. Which I was surprised that one was not like way further funded than it was. Because I backed it and Ryan sent me the 2 issues.
It looks great.
I was like, this is phenomenal. And I wrote a review on it and I posted about it a bunch, like trying to like get people like what. And Brian Hawkins is writing on this. Like, what are you guys doing?
I was actually talking to Ryan today. So I'm pretty sure he said like all the issues are already finished and all the issues are already printed and everything. So his next one, Double Out number 3, might be coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
But I talked to him today. He's gonna revamp everything. He's gonna come back. And I'm fully expecting for the next campaigns to be knocked out of the park. And I saw Michael on there. I'm in Charlotte.
Yeah.
I've been to Concord a few times, but most people I know from Concord come from Concord and go to Charlotte. They might go out to the mall in Concord, but I love this area, Michael. This Charlotte area, Charlotte, Concord, Huntersville area is really, really. I'm not from here. This is my 3rd or 4th year in Charlotte, but I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. I love this area.
Yeah, I'll have to get Ryan on here when the next one comes out. It's the timing when I noticed that campaign and was like, oh yeah, I'm like all in on this. I was like, I can't get you on in time.
Yeah, I saw he had an interview a couple of days ago, and I didn't realize this when I was messaging him. But I think he's from Texas, and when you hear him, he has a very thick accent.
Very much like, from Texas.
But Ryan, he's a good dude, man. He always he's always reaching out to me and just checking on me and encouraging me, and I try to give that positivity right back to him because he's such a good dude, and and I can't wait to support him again. Yeah.
And the one thing I really like about Kickstarter comics is there's always kind of an option here for if you don't have a lot of money, you can still back it. You could even throw $1 and just say, hey, I just want to show support. But $5 for a digital comic when it's put together not by a big company is great.
Yeah. I like the whole, when I started getting into this and trying to figure out how it works, like I gained a new, because, before the Mad Cave stuff, I had a Kickstarter before, and I didn't know anything about it. I just, I didn't do anything. I just typed it all up and then I put it out there and it was unsuccessful. But I gained a lot of respect for all these creatives because, one, it's very expensive to produce a comic book, especially if you're doing it out of pocket. I would say just for issue 1, I was lucky enough, I have a stable job. Not everyone has the resources that I do, and everyone else does. So I'm truly lucky. I'm truly blessed to be in this position. But it is expensive, and I spent a lot of money to try to make this happen. And I will say, if you are one of those people who want to pursue it, one, I believe you should, because it's cliche to say, but anything can happen. You can see me with the Mad Cave stuff. But two, if you have the resources, if you have the opportunities, I know everyone doesn't have the opportunity or the resources. But if you are, and you're willing to do it, I would say at least try to give it a shot, because you probably won't want to later on in your life think about what if. So that's why I'm going all in right now. I'm like, again, we were talking about it. If this is going to happen, like, I probably won't have a Man Cave Studios opportunity like that again, unless I make that opportunity happen. So, I'm going all in just to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and with that first Kickstarter not working, was there anything in particular with that you said, all right, this is one of my detriments, I need to like change these types of things? Or was it just kind of the process? And
honestly, when it happened, I think it was in 2018. It was for a comic that hopefully I'll make in the future. It's called Imaginary. It's still up. You can probably look at it if you look it up. But when I did it, I had no idea what I was doing. I just saw people use Kickstarter to make comic books. But when it did go unfunded, I packed it up. I said, you know what? We'll put this on the back burner for a few years. And I pretty much gave up. Almost gave up, because like I said, I always, when Mad Cave started doing that thing, I always put submitted until I never expected it to happen. But I almost gave up. I put it on the back burner, and I tried to, because I spent so much money on that one, I took a few years to try to learn how to draw myself. So I did some online classes. I tried to learn anatomy, and I ended up being pretty good. I learned a lot, especially over the pandemic. When the pandemic started, I was just drawing like 2, 3, 4 hours a day, and I did get pretty decent. Not nearly as good as Christian or Marco or any of the ones who do this for a living. But I gave up. But I always had the dream, I guess. I know it sounds cliche. I've always wanted to do it. So I never 100% gave up, because I always submitted to Mad Cave. I always was writing scripts. I just never actually put it down, and I never fully pursued it until the Mad Cave thing happened. So I did my research. I learned how important pre-launch is, trying to build a little bit of hype. Because I think they say if you think about doing a Kickstarter, they say if you reach a certain amount on day one, a certain percentage on day one, like 35 or 40% or 25% on day one, then you're like 75 or 80, 90% chance. You have a 90% or whatever chance to get funded throughout your campaign. So that pre-launch is super important. Just getting it out there, showing what you got, and just making people aware of your campaign before it even goes live, because those first few hours, that first day, is a lot of times is make or break.
You had like 50% within that first 12 hours or so, or
it was something that I did not expect. I promise you.
It went up. I was like, whoa.
I promise you.
Like, I love seeing that on Kickstarters on like day one. They just like,
when I launched it, I said click launch, closed my laptop, and I left because I was so nervous. But when I came back, I think it was it was past 50%. I had like $1,700, 1,700, something like that. And then I actually got funded just like at 49 hours. So just over 2 days, I was fully funded. And I was expecting this to go until the down to the wire. I had 2,500 as my goal, and I was expecting to go down to the wire. And now I'm pushing 4,000, and I promise you guys, I'm Jeremy. I'm extremely thankful for each and every one of you. I promise you. I hopefully you'll love the story as much as I love writing it. That I continue to love writing it. Because all 184 of you, not including my mom, I'm extremely thankful for you.
Not extremely thankful for your mom.
My mother knows I love her, even though I give her a headache. Let me tell you about my mom. I'm 31 years old, but my mom will text me every day and ask me if I ate. I'm like, yes, Mom, I ate. When are you coming over? I'll come over this weekend. I am coming over this weekend for 4th of July, Mother. I love you, Mom.
I'll see my mom this weekend for 4th of July. But yeah, no, I mean, the other, I guess the cool thing then is now that you hit funding, you get to look at those like stretch goals. And I know you were posting about them.
Yeah. So the first stretch goal was 3,500. And we passed that. So, and the stretch goal for 3,500 was to show my gratitude to Devin, to Reed. I didn't talk about Reed. Shout out to Reed, who is the letterer. The first 4 pages, Reed did an incredible job. I think there's only like one word balloon on there, but there's text. And Reed had to find different ways to show that text in there, and he's such a talented letterer, and he actually has a story coming out in Big Hype Volume 3, so shout out to Reed, the letterer. But the first stretch goal was to give me showing my gratitude towards them, and to give them a bonus. Depending how much money we have, it depends on how much I give them, but I am going to give them a bonus, just because I'm so lucky to have them on the team. And they're just good people as well. Every time I message them on Discord or on WhatsApp or whatever, they're just so encouraging. They're so kind. So shout out to them. But the second one we reached last night or the night before. And the second stretch goal is to show some previous versions of World Away. So the past couple of years, when I gave up, when I was learning how to draw, the idea for Worlds Away was to be a little web series. So I would have one page every week, or one page every 2 weeks, or every month. And that wasn't really sustainable for the artists that I've hired, because, if I'm doing one page a week or a month, they probably would have forgot about me. But it went through like 3 or 4 different artists. So what I'm going to do with the stretch goal for 3,750 is I'm going to show some previous artwork of the different iterations of Worlds Away. And they're very different. There's one like this anime looking style. There's one, this Serenity was this cartoon looking character before. I think if you go to the updates, would you be able to click on updates really quickly?
Yeah.
And then go to maybe onward.
So it wasn't the one today.
Maybe if you scroll down. Yep, see that's so that's the first version of Worlds Away. And then there was another one after that. There was another one after that. And that finally turned into the one that you see today. This one was
still pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. It looked great, but
it looks amazing now. For like the environment that is like what we're seeing now with the new art.
It's the same scene. Yep. So
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually show the script page. So you'll see how I wrote it out, and you'll see how each artist interpreted it. So that's the plan for the first stretch, the second stretch goal, and then the next stretch goal is everyone gets a sticker, a die cut sticker, and then the last stretch goal is a mini print of the cover. So hopefully, if we're lucky enough, we'll be able to do those things, and hopefully, it'll happen soon. I'm
blow that one out of the water.
Say that again.
You blow this last one out. You gotta go for magnet of the cover.
We can do that.
I don't know why I just like those.
We can do that.
Campaigns have done them, and so now I've got a little collection of like magnets from Kickstarters on my fridge going.
Oh, so that's what you do with it? You put it on the fridge?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to look into that because I saw some. I wanted to do that, but I was also looking at like actual posters instead of the print posters. But I like that idea as well. I might want to do that.
Posters.
So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers for me, everybody.
I think you can do it. Especially, I mean, you're at 3,800 right now.
2 weeks left.
2 weeks left. I think we can. I think you can hit 5K. I think it can happen.
They say there's a like a little surge at the end because I had a lot of people sign up for notifications.
Yeah. The last 48 hours, I think it says 2 days left. You get that email.
And they try to jump on it as soon as they can. So hopefully that'll push us over the edge for some other stretch goals. But I love that magnet idea. That's really cool.
I've seen like they'll do it of the cover or of the logo or
That's the plan for the so let me ask you, which one would you prefer? Because I plan on doing the logo for the sticker.
Yeah.
So should I do that for the magnet if we get there, or should I do the cover? Or in which cover?
I mean, if you're gonna do a cover, I feel like cover A.
Cover A, okay. I agree with that.
That works. Let's see what the chat says. If they're still awake in there. There's a couple of people watching right now live. But I mean, I think either cover. Do you think cover A? So you gotta vote for cover A or the logo as a magnet. Which,
right? Because I am leaning cover A as well, but
I'm leaning cover A, and that if you really got into it and you're just like, I just want to throw another thing out there, another magnet, then you'd go for the logo.
That'll be
way down the strap. Throw that poster upgrade in there,
Yeah, that'll be fun. You're gonna have to show us your refrigerator with all your magnets on there too, man.
I've got so let's see. I've got I think I have one or two from Jonathan Hedrick's campaigns that he's done.
Which one? I'm sorry. Which one were those?
Jonathan Hedrick's. He's he wrote The Recount for Scout Comics, but then he's done Quicksand is one of the most recent ones that he's done.
Recount is on what publisher?
Scout.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, he just had Recount Preamble come out. But he's done he did a Caffeinated Heart, so I think the last one he came out with. I don't remember if that had a magnet or not. Travis Gibbs campaigns I feel like always has a magnet, so I have one of I'm
gonna have to hit him up and see where he gets his from.
Like the Granite State Punk logo here, he made that a magnet, but I think I'm trying to remember if there's a cover for that magnet. I think there is. There's one for Expired, and there's one for I think Voodoo Nations.
I'm gonna have to reach out to one of them and see where they get theirs from.
Yeah, he does the cover ones a lot. And
That
then
would be cool to have on my fridge. I didn't think about that. I'm thinking about giving it to everyone else, and then I forgot about myself.
put it on your own fridge, yeah. And then Deadliest Bouquet, which is now going to be coming out from Image, but that was a Kickstarter first.
Oh, really?
Shoot, why am I forgetting your name? I'm gonna.
Yeah, go ahead. How long ago was that Kickstarter? That sounds awesome. I've never heard of it, but it sounds incredible.
Shoot, I can pull this up. Scroll through all of my backed campaigns to find it, which may take a minute. There were it's one that I've received. There we go.
That's cool to see, like a comic come out from Kickstarter to move on to Image. That's the big leagues, man.
It is. So Erica Schultz, she also had what was it?
Oh, okay.
From Aftershock, Bylines in Blood.
Yeah.
She's had a couple things out.
So did she start off on Kickstarter and then like she just?
I don't know. This was the first one. Like I was backing this, and then I was hearing about Bylines in Blood coming out, and this was that was the last update. Was May. I wonder. This usually says when it was. Right.
That looks awesome though.
Yeah, it was a really good story. Marked as received in January, so I got it in January. But they did like it was like a skull logo thing. This thing I have as a magnet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I think there was one of this too. So yeah, it was a pretty cool story. But yeah, so like all these different campaigns are like, here's a magnet. I'm like, all right, well, put them all on the fridge in this one section.
So if I get to I think the last one is 45. If I'm lucky enough to get to 5,000, and that's a big if. I'll definitely do that magnet. Hopefully that like we were talking about, that last surge can happen for us and get us over the edge, because I do like that idea, especially having it on my refrigerator. I'm forgetting about myself. I'm always thinking about getting this out there and packing all of these up.
Right. That's the put your work on the fridge, you know.
From a mom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your mom probably wants to put it on her fridge.
Yeah, my mom, that's everyone for me. That's everything for me. But yeah, man. Hopefully you all dig this. It's very there's a lot of action. There's a lot of magic. There's a lot of laser beams. There's a lot of plasma blades. But it's all tied together by it's a simple plot. The mother is trying whatever she can. She does whatever she can to get her and her daughter off of this planet safely.
Yeah. Been dropping the link over the Kickstarter to the live chat so they can go over and back it at any level. I think 13 is the physical, right?
13 for the for cover A, plus shipping. But thank you guys if you're listening. Thank you guys for even considering backing it, for just taking a look at it. I truly appreciate it. I promise you guys, when the physical copy of this comic book comes in my hand, because I literally have 0 things published right now. I do have the Mad Cape thing coming out. I did get accepted into Wildstar Press's anthology. That's coming out in this month. But I literally have 0 publishing credits right now.
Hold on to.
So when this one actually gets into my hands, I promise you, I will burst out crying. I will be bawling because it'll be a dream. And honestly, it'll be a dream come true. And hopefully you guys enjoy it as well.
You gotta frame it, bring it into school,
I,
pick it up, get in the classroom.
I'll sign it. I'll put it up, and I'll brag about it. So you see that? That's copy one, edition one of one, everything right there. But yeah, I it's honestly fun seeing. So shout out to the whole creative team again. I love you guys, Devin, Christian, Luana, Marco, Reed, Chris, everyone, for helping me do this, because honestly, you guys, it's a dream come true.
Yeah, all these, and I mean, all of them. I think you click on their name, it goes to their social media, right?
Yep.
Some way to reach them. So
if you want to hire them, I think most of them are available. Christian is pretty busy right now. Plus, he's he's worked with Boom Studios a little bit. I think he has a little bit of free time, so hopefully, I'm trying to snatch him up for a few weeks for issue number 2 soon.
Yeah, great crew of people working on this with you. So I loved it.
I had that commissioned as well. The initial one, I said it didn't have the stubble, it didn't have the beard. I said, excuse me, can I just add one little edit? Can you put a little stubble on there, please? But yeah, that turned out well.
And there's shirts, so
there are shirts. So grab yours.
Yeah,
I think the cameos. I think he grabbed one.
I think
the cameos are all out. I did sneak one in. I didn't tell Christian yet, because Christian's gonna kill me that he's gonna have to draw all these people's faces. But I added an extra one, but that sold out immediately as well.
Those things I saw it originally said one, and then I think when I went on, there was 2, and I was like,
yeah. I said, let me try to sneak one else in there. So, but I didn't tell Christian yet either. Yeah. So I can use your face, Jeremy, or you can just literally design a character. So this world, I don't know if you, or this universe, I don't know if you read Saga, but it's kind of, anything can exist in this universe. So you can have a dragon with eyeglasses in a suit or something. It can literally be anything. We'll probably
that.
We'll probably fix it up so it'll fit a little bit better. But
yeah,
it's whatever you want to do.
To get thinking. But we do have a question for you, since you are in Charlotte. Sure. UNC or Duke?
All right. I'm from South Carolina. I'm from Sumter, South Carolina, which is like 40 minutes from Columbia. So at heart, I guess I'm a Gamecock. That's where I got my degree, from South Carolina. But my favorite basketball player of all time is not Michael Jordan, but it is Vince Carter. So hopefully you don't disown me, Michael, but I'll have to go with UNC. But my brother is a Duke fan. So I'm playing both sides of the fence.
And I'm a Gator over here.
Florida? Oh man.
Yeah. I'm from Florida. I ended up going to UF, and then
you did. How was that? Was that all right?
It was good. I liked Gainesville. It was nice. Like, it's kind of away from busyness, except for the college.
Yeah, that's how a lot of like Clemson. There's nothing going on in Clemson but the college.
Oh, he's with you.
Yes, sir. Vince Carter.
Yeah, so it was nice to be like, you weren't too far away from, like, you go over to Orlando if you wanted, back down to like Tampa area, over to St. Augustine. So there's like a lot of stuff you could go to within.
I've been to Orlando once to go to an Orlando Magic game, and I remember it being very, very cool. I've never been to. We didn't stay long, but I did have fun in Orlando a few years ago.
Yeah. I've never actually, like, I feel like, just gone to Orlando to go to Orlando. and not like Disney, Universal, or like my brother actually lives in the area. Like, so I go there for like one of those reasons:
That's where
family, Universal, or Disney.
that's where we went. We went to Universal, and I distinctly remember the Men in Black ride.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's a fun.
So how did you get to New Orleans?
Work?
Oh, okay.
I'm a professor at Xavier University.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah. So
do people pronounce it Xavier?
I haven't heard it pronounced that way, but I could totally see people trying to.
I know whenever they're playing, like if I ever see it on ESPN or something, and people talking about it, they'll say Xavier. I was like, I have no teeth in this game, but it's called Xavier. I don't say that out loud, but up here, I'm like,
yeah. And a lot of times it's the Xavier in, was it in Chicago, or
is that right?
There's another one. There's Xavier, and then there's Xavier of New Orleans.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
I don't remember what we throw after it, but like locally we're just like Xavier. But there's like, I think we're somewhat related with some sort of connection. But
that's cool though, man. Going from was that because when I moved from South Carolina to Charlotte, because I'm from the middle of nowhere. Now I'm in literally, I can look outside my door, or outside my apartment. I can see the buildings and the big city. Was it a huge difference for you, or was it a kind of a hard decision?
It was middle of the pandemic. I gotta get a job, and this was available. So like from that side, I mean, it was a hard decision because I've lived in Florida my whole life, but I like it. I do like it here. I'm not directly in the city where it's like the busiest area, so I'm a little bit outside. It's like 15-20 minutes, and I'm in the city.
Okay.
So it's a good location for trying to keep a little bit of the less crazy, not as city going on.
There's a nice buffer in between.
Yeah, a little bit of a compromise there.
That's cool. I'm glad you like it, because my girlfriend plans on going to New Orleans one day, and I'll be dragged along. But again, the food sounds incredible and looks incredible.
If you need recommendations, let me know.
I'll definitely do that. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on and talking about Worlds Away.
Thanks for having me. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everyone who's listening. Absolutely. Thank you for taking a look. Hopefully, if you choose to back it when it comes out in August or September, hopefully you enjoy it. I'm truly thankful for all of you.
Dropping the link one more time for everyone watching if you want to go navigate over there and find an option that you like. Back it, or even just share it out there, on social media so other people know about it. That always helps too. If you can't afford to back it, get the word out there.
Get the more eyes on it, the better.
Lewis, thanks for watching.
Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Lewis. I
appreciate it, you guys.
And I'll be back live in 2 weeks. 2 weeks we'll be here.
I'm gonna hit you up, Jeremy, when the Kickstarter for number 2 comes out, hopefully in September or August. Hopefully I can come back because this is fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll have another good time talking about it. Maybe then you'll be able to talk about that other thing you got going on. And
hopefully cross your fingers for me, everyone.
Hopefully.
All right. Have a good one, you guys.
Have a nice night. I got a little thing we'll play, and we'll see you guys next time.